Hi there, Julie Gray here, and today I want to talk to you about what to do when you're feeling nervous or apprehensive or anxious about an upcoming event. Maybe you've got a test, maybe you have to give a presentation or do some kind of performance. So, what do you do with those feelings? So, let's talk just briefly about just some logic here, so some basic logic that will then inform the overall understanding, the overall messaging of what I've got to share. So, when we get nervous, there's this real strong notion, especially in our culture, that nervousness is going to adversely impact the performance. If we're nervous, we're going to do worse on the test. If we're nervous, we're not going to sing as well. If we're nervous, we're not going to speak as well, whatever it might be, right? So when we have these feelings of apprehension and nerves, one, they're just generally uncomfortable, right? It's just kind of not fun to feel them. But on top of the feeling of them is the idea that by having them, we have something to be nervous about, right? The feeling looks like it's validating the event, right? It looks like you're feeling nervous because you should be feeling nervous about this event. The thing to see here is that you're thinking about the event. You're not feeling the event itself. That's an entirely separate thing. Because sometimes when you're not thinking about the event, the test, the song, this performance, what have you, you're not feeling nervous. And sometimes you think about the event and you're excited. You're like, kind of can't wait. And sometimes you think about the event and you just have a sense of relief, like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great when it's over, right? And when I've learned this, when I've done this, right? Like you're proud of yourself, right? Who knows what the heck you're thinking about or feeling about? You can have a million different feelings, thoughts, reactions, but nervousness or anxiety, we get nervous about nervousness. We get anxious about anxiety and we think, whoa, I better not have those feelings because they could trip me up. But it's thought. It is an event, right? Those feelings, all of them, are validating what you happen to be thinking about in the moment, not the event itself. So, why this is so useful, right? This isn't about invalidating your feelings. This isn't about setting them aside. This isn't about not listening to them. It's about seeing where they're coming from. And when we see fundamentally where feeling is coming from, right? Thought in the moment, we don't have to worry about it nearly as much as we've been taught, right? Because this is what happens. We get feelings of nervousness and then we go, whoa, I don't want to feel nervous because that's not a good sign, right? So we get nervous about our nervousness and then we think, okay, I better figure out how not to feel nervous. Can you see the layers that are happening here? And then we're monitoring our feelings and we're monitoring our thinking, and all that's happened, all that's transpired is that you had a feeling and it floated through. And then it got layered and layered and layered and layered. And the more we try to fix feeling, or the more we try to shift thinking, the more thought and feeling we create. We're not detracting, we're not subtracting here. We're not taking away when we go in that direction. We're only adding. And so all of a sudden our head's swirling and we're freaking out and oh my gosh, I don't even know. And we think it has everything to do with the test or the performance. And it has nothing to do with it, in fact. It has everything to do with how we've been taught to navigate thought and to navigate feeling. We've been taught to dive into it and fix it and wrestle it to the ground. And that can really just create another thought storm. It's creating more noise. It's not eliminating anything. So how do you fix these feelings then, right? Okay, you kind of are with me a little bit on this logic here, right? So what do you do instead? If you're not trying to fix the thought, if you're not trying to fix the feeling, if they don't even really have anything to do with the event itself, well, then what are you supposed to do here? Well, one, just seeing that logic, that they're actually separate, that your thought and feeling are separate from the event itself, right? You can't feel a future event. You can feel you're thinking about a future event, but you can't, it doesn't work that way, that we can feel something in the future. We can only feel our thinking right now about the thing in the future, right? So getting that separate in your mind, really useful. Like, you're feeling right now. The only thing that you can feel ever is right now. And so what you're feeling right now is also separate of that future event. So just seeing that logic actually can really quiet down the mind sometimes. It can just allow you the opportunity to step back. And that's really what happens, right? We sort of see the thought storm that we're in. We see that we're kind of like making it worse in terms of trying to fix it or monitor it or manage the thinking or manage the feeling. So just taking that pause, taking that step back. Now, what happens is that we drop actually into right now. As we see that logic, we drop into right now. Right now is a pretty amazing place to be. Because in right now, there are so many more options about what to do next than we could ever come up with in our thinking. There is so much more obvious, practical, wise, insightful, new thinking available in now versus in trying to wrangle your thinking that you're really used to, frankly. That's kind of old and probably maybe an old pattern. There's nothing really new there for you. So let's look at what's right now. I don't know what's going to occur for you. It could be you just need to go for a walk or call a friend or prepare or practice or study. Who knows? That's what's great about it, is that when we look at right now, we're presented with something that we didn't anticipate. We're presented with the next obvious thing to do. Look in that direction. Now, this is useful when you're preparing for the event, and this is also extremely useful at the event. Notice that this is available. This resource in you is available at all times. Look at what's right now. See through the thinking. See through the feelings. You don't have to buy in so hard into what they're saying, your thoughts and feelings. Look beyond. Look at what's right now and see where it takes you. Until next time, take care.